Hey everyone, this is Acid Roots. I've got a review for you. This is by DJ Paul, and he is a member of the 3-6 Mafia, and he's been doing a lot of stuff. He's been doing a lot of stuff this decade, and there's my cat. He's been doing a lot of stuff this decade and everything, and um, I just haven't paid attention to all of it. So I'm glad that I did, because this is actually some high quality stuff. It may not be perfect, but I did end up liking 12 out of, I want to say 17 songs. So let me just look. There's 1, 2, 3 songs that are less than 2 minutes, so I'm not gonna. I mean, I could count those, but it just doesn't feel like I should. So out of 20, that would leave 17. So yeah, really, once Juicy J and DJ Paul kind of went separate ways, the thing is there was an album that was supposed to come out called Laws of Power. And I wanted this album, I really did, but it just never came. And I remember waiting for it, but there has been music releases since then, but just that last 3-6 Mafia album, I just feel like it should be some form of capping it off. You know what I mean? Just because they did do it, but the label wouldn't do it. So, but after that, DJ Paul had a number of releases, and another one that I'm getting ready to review is To Kill Again. Now, this is something that got a mixtape and was, I had a mixtape, and I'm gonna check that out. And then after that, we have this record, which came out spring 2012. So, I'm trying to think. Can you smoke this? The answer is yes. This sounds like This sounds like, well, 3-6, except for the fact that the production is a little bit more, like, if it's between horror and commercial, it's a little bit more towards the darker sound. But then there's also some new type things that are in these beats, and I that's the biggest complaint that I had, because I did like 12 out of 20, but since 3 of those songs were shorter, I just don't really want to count them, because this is a rather good project. So just because of those, but um so yeah, the sounds are just kind of different. They're still dark as normal, and you should be able to get to it rather easily, but the thing is that what was I gonna say? Just, it feels like new things are being tried, which is good. It's not good to stay in the past. But I will say about this album, there's a lot of talk about people who are not good enough. So that's kind of something that's, if there's always something that says, well, you're not doing what I'm doing. And this is a topic that's covered more than the average amount, and it's kind of a response to people who bag on things and are not, are posers. And really, that's all it is. It's just like when you would hear a song about a woman saying she's not going to give it up, and then you'd hear a guy complain, just saying, the the other version of that. So that's kind of what you get this time. But it doesn't detract from the album. This isn't as fun as previous records just because it kind of alienates people. But other than that, it's fun. I liked it. I liked it pretty much the whole way through. I've been listening to it this whole morning, and yeah, it works. But can you smoke to this? So here's a couple of songs. I would say Cocky's a good one. G'd Up's a good one. Put That on My Hood's a good one. You a Bitch is a good one. Go and Kill is a good one. Smokin' Fuckin' is a good one. So these are some ones to smoke to. And My Blunt Smokes Better is another one. So these are just some things. And the good part about it is because it's a mixtape, it kind of, you'd think most people would say, well, this is not worthy of me even spending my time on, but it actually is. It's not just crap that's just thrown together and, you delete it as soon as you download it. It's actually worthwhile. I'm proud of that, really. Some people put more effort into mixtapes than others. So the production is handled rather well, and basically those same songs that I listed are the ones that are worth it. You're going to find a lot of menacing and this not sultry, but somber and foreboding type music. So that's real good. Now the unheard songs, since there were actually I think 22 songs on here, but there's an intro and an outro. These were the 12 that I liked. About That Life, Cocky, G'd Up, Like This, My Blunt Smokes Better, Wildin'. That one was kind of close, but I did end up liking it. It's the same thing with Like This. Those two were close, but I did like them. What the Hell I've Been Thinking About, You a Bitch, Put That on My Hood, Niggas Say They Paid, Go and Kill, and Smokin' Fuckin'. So all of those songs are worthwhile, and You a Bitch has a good beat, Put That on My Hood does, Niggas Say They Paid does, Go and Kill does, Smokin' Fuckin' does, and G'd Up does. Those are some of the best beats on there. So I'd recommend checking those out. When I compare this to, well, yeah, what came out around this time, I wasn't really paying attention to a lot of mixtapes, and I guess I would check out Juicy J's Blue Dream and Lean, some more DJ Paul, some of the 3-6 Mafia, Project Pat did some stuff. I think Lord Infamous did some stuff. And Tech 9 would be a good one. Some things like that. Tech 9 has his whole label, so I'd check some of them out too. I recommend this mixtape. And because if it were 12 out of 20, I would give this a 7. But because some of these songs just feel kind of unfinished, I'm just going to say that it's not necessarily. I mean, they just were. It actually feels like a mixtape where you get unfinished and unreleased songs, and it just doesn't feel like a cohesive project. And I know DJ Paul would never put those songs on, a record. He might, but the answer is they're not as good as full-fledged songs. And so I'm going to say that this record's an 8. 12 out of 17. I guess I could give it an 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. And let's see. the future. I've said this before, but DJ Paul's pretty active, so there's always going to be something out there, and there's plenty of it. 3 6 Mafia's done like 10 CDs, and they've done tons of other things. There's a bunch of stuff. Really, you could have a full, like a full library of just stuff by these same guys. So understand that I'm not gonna make an onslaught of every single person, all these guys. I'm gonna spice it in, but I'm not gonna just DJ Paul, DJ Paul, DJ Paul. So I'm gonna do more than that. And is this album social? Surprisingly, it is. These records are, they have the same mood that's prevalent the whole time, which is basically don't fuck with me. But once you get past that, it's actually rather good music. So that's kind of what holds it back, is just, it's not the most approachable, but it is good music. So you can play it, but, some people, if you listen to the song, you're going to get tired of it. It just isn't something that is, something to congregate about. So I'll give it a 7 social. Can it be topped? Yeah, I think it can. This is probably one of DJ Paul's best mixtapes, and I definitely feel like you should look into it. Alright, I give this album an 8.5, and, well, because I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 and a 7 social.